We are here for day 2 of the 50K Triton Poker Super High Roller Series. We are in Cyprus.
Oh, wow.
425.
475.
And
Interesting approach here from Ivey as his all-in rates to shed the ace-10 of Elton.
I think we know at this point that Elton hasn't been opening that wide, so I think if Phil knew that, he wouldn't. But, you know, we can see the power of Phil's play. Because like I said, Elton probably finds the fold.
And you hear Jason Koon immediately say, that's my man right there. I appreciate it. As Sang is breathless. To the flop we go. Jason Koon's life hanging in the balance, and he flops himself a club draw on a paired board.
King of diamonds, baby.
and one less ace in the deck, which probably is not being factored in those odds.
Oh, my. I got too many outs. I'm fucking out of here, man.
Now there's a Broadway draw, or rather a gut shot straight draw on this turn. Koon
mixing
the
all kinds of
up.
things. The pre-stand up, but then also the announcement of too many outs. So,
oh, and the 4 of clubs on the end does.
Give me money, Phil. Thanks, bro.
Backpack jinx.
Wow. So the pre-stand up actually outweighed the too many outs.
A lot of big names.
Look what's developing here. It's blind versus blind. Phil just limping in with the aces, and Arthur is looking at pocket queens.
And Archer's been popping him a lot with, again, hands. I'm sure Phil knows that. He's maybe getting some intel or realizing, you know, after seeing a delay that it's not like Archer's messing with them, but here this is as big as it gets.
Phil's range is going to be pretty polarized here from the small blind. But queens, he decides are good enough, and this is crazy.
Blind versus blind. So sick.
Yeah, Archer's just can't believe it. He's just gotten so many good hands, but been in.
Queen only can help him on the river.
Not gonna be.
Not gonna make it. And Phil wins the biggest pot of the tournament so far, and actually moves up to 1.8 million.
I think a walk is coming. I think you're gonna get 9-3 offsuit, and just give me a walk. All right. Let me see here.
Jason trying to talk Michael Salzer into folding.
I check.
And we will see a flop. And that's an interesting one. Michael with a pair. Jason picks up the flush draw. And Jason has 2 options here. He can call, he can raise it up, decides to go with a call, which is certainly the standard play.
Yeah, very interesting situation. Everyone's got a little something going. Jason, I mean, this is for 8-3 suited. You can't ask for much more in this hand, right? You got double, basically open-ended with the flush draw, essentially with the double gutter.
Yeah, Jason on the river with literally the worst possible hand, I believe. Not low, the 8-3, and that's usually a good candidate to bluff. So let's see what he comes up with. Just a half pot-sized bet. Yeah, close spot for Michael too. I mean, makes the call here, and we'll see the good news. I mean, after only putting in 1 big blind before, it feels like 4th pair is just too good to let it go here.
You hear Rob Young in the outer tables chatting over here. He's in currently 12th with 38 big blinds. We're down again.
Pre-flop all in.
25. Daniel Negreanu, the short stack with 11 blinds. So we got between 11 blinds and 116 blinds. That's the range right now.
An interesting flop. A little bit of something for all of them, and they quickly check it, actually, all of them. This. Yeah, awkward spot for Danny, who decides to let it go with a shorter stack. With Chris to X behind him. Chris is probably not going anywhere with his top pair. And now it's gonna get interesting at the river.
It's a nice run out for Chris.
Yeah, and now having the ace of clubs makes it a little tricky for Phil, because he kind of wants his opponent to have missed clubs maybe. but decides to bluff at it. And Chris, of course, is making the quick call with his trips. And that's a super nice pot for Chris.
Maybe not one of the leading candidates for a weak open. Even better, even though a 9-8 has some playability, but we're short, so it's not as important. You're not blocking big cards, which is more important. I feel like you'd rather have the hand like the king.
ElkY has picked an awful time to say those two little words, as his 8-9 suited will
That is a good one to see.
be followed by a understandable expletive. Not
King,
this
queen,
one,
but just, yeah, not, wow.
Okay, there we go.
though.
Okay.
And he manages to flop a heart draw on an ace-high board here.
I mean, it's got to be like a 7 or an 8 or a 10 on the turn anyways, right?
Gotta be like a 7 of hearts on the turn. Oh,
Yeah.
Koon
I think Jack of Diamonds.
knows it gets sweaty. Saying can hit a 7 or a heart. The river
yes!
is a heart.
Really cool final table.
Yeah, and we saw a million chip stack being the chip leader earlier, but now it's only 25 big blinds, and Michael Adamo is actually the shortest stack at our table. While this is a little bit of an action flop here. Laszlo flops trip aces, being super wide on the button, and Phil Ivey must think that his pair of queens here is the best hand most of the time, but this time, of course, it's not. Yeah, tough decision for Ivey here. I don't think that he will fold too quickly, but I mean it's not a great spot to be in.
Yeah, just discipline
Yeah,
lay down.
very disciplined.
Ace
And
deuce in the small.
now Jack 10 off is a hand that normally calls a 10 big blind shove here. But again, with ICM, Koon's going to do some calculations here. How much ICM does he really have? How much is going to affect his call?
I have Jack 10. Good luck.
So he decides there's not extreme enough ICM
Deuce.
to avoid a call and gambles.
Sweatworthy.
Koon is going to spin the wheel. Burn down. 3 off the top. And
Whoa.
8, 9, 10 is very much advantage. Jason Koon top pair and an open ender. Reason to smile, but it's not over yet.
Club.
Ooh.
And that club does give Jason Koon the straight, but it now gives Elton Sang far more outs.
Yeah, let him sweat it face down. Let him sweat it face down.
I need the club, right? Yeah. Oh.
And the river
1,
is
1, 2,
red and safe. It's Jason Koon.
125.
Doubles into some good breathing room. Nemeth with another ace, and he's got the hearts covered, but unfortunately doesn't have the benefit of position. We'll check this 9-8 trade 2 spade flop over to Ivey.
Yeah, I'd be going to decide whether or not he wants to c-bet, and if so, how much. And now that's an action card.
Yeah, it is. That 4 of hearts now presents a flush draw to both players. Advantage Nemeth in a real way.
I don't expect he'll check raise if Ivey bets. And Ivey might bet here because he might want to get some ace-highs to fold. Okay, he checks back. Oh, wow.
Oh, and hits the jack on the end. But the spades show up, and obviously that card is damp insofar as some straights are completed.
It's a
Okay.
pretty bad card for Nemeth.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure Ivey's going to find a value bet.
And the thought on Nemeth's mind might be if Ivey had some kind of bigger ace with showdown value, why wouldn't he simply check it back?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Nemeth is probably ruling out a hand like ace-king on that river card. So I would say...
Call was made, by the way, and Ivey picks up a healthy little pot there.
It's one of those things when you're so aggressive and you get big hands, you get action, right? That's the fun part about being an aggressive player. Because here, I mean, it's almost no way away. If you're Jason, dealer versus spit big blind, he is gonna raise it, and if you're Jason,
And Jason's of course not going anywhere with the ace jack.
He's in a bad spot, although we have seen some from behind ace paint collisions.
and there's
look
the
at
jack.
that. The J for Jason right there on the flop starts out well, but 2 more cards to come, and that'll do it. Lock it up on the
GG,
turn.
brother.
And that's unfortunate for Michael Adamo, who's drawing dead here, and of course would have liked to
Play a
get the
game, see how
double up
fast you can get 8
and
stacks
go
in
for the win
100K.
here.
I'll give you 2.5 hours.
For 8x in a stack. Jason giving another compliment to Adamo. It's nice when you're a GG ambassador. You get to say GG.
So like Koon is
Yeah, they did.
very likely going to jam this. Now that said, some of the short stacks behind, you know, might call a little tighter than usual. The one person who might not call that tight is the chip leader himself, Nemeth. Oh wow.
Koon makes it 900,000 of his 1.4 with King Queen and has run into 2 black queens for Boitas. The situation couldn't be much worse, although the king is some hope.
Been a getting lucky kind of final table.
Not quite as bad as the 9-8 suited versus the 9s situation, but still not a pleasant one.
And the spade is working for Koon on this ace-9-4 2-spade flop.
Jack of spades.
Looking for the backdoor flush draw. Doesn't come in, however, as the board pairs. And now it is 3 outs. Just a king will rescue Jason Koon. Is it there? No. The 3 of clubs will seal his fate as our 5th place finisher. Just a real ambassador to the game. Class act, Jason Koon. He will be missed.
Comes up with no, which I think is the right answer. Boitas here. Caught with his hand in the cookie jar a little bit. 7-5 suited, a very reasonable hand, and actually quite live against the ace-jack offsuit. Played decently well in terms of all-in equity versus offsuit big card hands, and wow, what a flop for Boitas.
Yeah, how about a pair and a heart draw? Just not fair for this ace-jack of Phil Ivey, who is all in, covered, and now that 8 of hearts does give Boitas the hearts, but that jack of hearts is working for Phil. Is there another one in the deck? No. Board pairs and just a hand removed from the departure of Jason Koon, the last American high-stakes regular, says goodbye. Phil Ivey, good to see him back in the mix.